Funky pussy, I'll get out the way. Bang, Babylon, get out the way. Galatasaray, get out the way.
I broke it. Mental to think though, isn't it? 2 litre. I think John might have broken it. It's hot.
Funky pussy, I'll get out the way. Bang, Babylon, get out the way. Galatasaray, get out the way. Prick, Babylon, get out the way. Funky pussy, I'll get out the way. Bang, Babylon, get out the way. Galatasaray, get out the way.
A few moments later.
I broke it. Good morning, you absolute lovelies. Welcome back to another Monkey London car review. It has been quite a while. As a lot of you guys have kind of realised, I've really sort of stepped back from all this madness to kind of get my merchandise going, which is going really well. Massive thanks to all of you guys who've been ordering. Today I am sporting a ML Classic baseball cap and a JZX100 t-shirt available on my website. Today we're mixing it up a little bit. We're not driving a Japanese whip, we are driving a German whip. This is Guy's 700 horsepower Golf R. Today it's running about 650 horsepower. It runs 700 horsepower on race fuel. Needless to say, 650 horsepower in what is basically a 2 litre 4-wheel drive Golf is going to be absolutely next level. The chap that owns it, he spent nearly £40,000 excluding the cost of the car, getting it to where we see today. What makes this car extremely rare is it's manual. A lot of them are DSG. A lot of the YouTube videos you see, all the big horsepower ones, most of the time they are DSG automatic with a twin clutch. Not gonna lie, John did a little bit of send it back there, and this car is quite literally electrically quick. Oh man, this has got some fucking G-force. Kind of hard to describe how quick this is. It almost makes you feel a little bit queasy. Guy said probably best not to launch this car. You can with the DSGs, but they do tend to go through gearboxes and drive shafts, so we'll do a little bit of first gear here, but he said it's very short ratio, so kind of best to get the car rolling and then put your foot down. So fast. I haven't actually ever driven a Golf R before. I've driven a few sort of bigger horsepower Golf GTRs. They're obviously front wheel drive. This is 4-wheel drive. The way this puts the power down and the way it's got so much traction, it really does thrust you into the back of your seat. This particular Golf revs to 6,850, he was telling me, and it's very responsive. There's very minimal turbo lag. Boost comes in at about 3 to 3,500 RPM. I'll do a little pull in seconds. So this is 3,000 RPM. It's still on a stock ECU. Obviously these Golfs, unlike some of the older cars, they're open loop ECUs, so you can remap them. Luckily with all this power, the brakes are very good as well. It's got a set of Alcons on the front with a nice 2-piece floating rotor, which really kinds to help to dissipate the heat, which is quite an important thing on a car like this. With stock brakes, I don't think you can probably last very long. Bounce, and it's not overly stiff. It's quite a sort of drivable car, this, for the roads. Golf Rs. They do get a bit of stick. Some people say they're boring, but I'll tell you now, if you were in the passenger seat, if you were driving this, you would not say it was boring. Yes, there's lots of them about and they are quite common, but when you've got this kind of power and this kind of traction, this is a serious machine. There's not really much out there that will kind of keep up with this thing. Right, I've chucked John in the boot for 5 minutes. He was getting a little bit excited with this extremely rapid Golf R. I'm just going to run through some of the specs because, like I said, guys spent an absolute fortune building this car and it is pretty immense, I'm not going to lie. I'll run through the engine spec because it is pretty comprehensive. At the moment on this fuel it's 653 horsepower with 822 Newton meters of torque, so a massive amount of torque. He's running, I think you say it male or male, 83mm pistons. He's got integrated Tuscan I-beam conrods, race development's EA888 cylinder heads, APR valve springs, we all know APR head stud bolts to obviously stop the head from lifting, APR rod bolts, baffled aluminium oil sump, that's basically like baffle plates around the oil pickup just to stop the sort of oil sloshing away from the pickup to stop oil starvation. V5R turbo from Turbo Technics, VWR oil management system, VWR oil cooler, custom fuel system with bigger injectors and a bigger fuel pump. We've got a VWR R600 intake. The exhaust system is 3.5 inch, the downpipe and the decat is from Scorpion, that's 3 inch, and he's got a custom rear section with titanium tips which looks pretty nice out the back. Keeping it cool up front, he's got a Wagner competition intercooler. We've also got AEM water methanol injection. You can see the little bottle down the back. Car was mapped by a company called MRC and they're running their custom software on the stock ECU. Mental to think though, isn't it? 2 litre and you can run this kind of performance. I mean, obviously the engine is fully forged to kind of handle the powers. Mad to think that you can run that amount of power on such a 4-cylinder 2 litre engine is pretty crazy. Coilovers are from Tracksport. The car does handle really nicely. I think he said they're about 3 grand. He's got a whole load of bits from VWR, including adjustable drop links, camber plates, engine mounts, torque links, dog bone mounts, subframe mounts. He also said the subframe underneath was aluminium, which will really kind of help bring some of that unsprung weight down. Super Pro aluminium lower control arms, again they'll be a little bit lighter. 034 Motorsport, he's got solid rear sway bar, 22mm, so I'm not sure, that's obviously slightly wider than the stock anti-roll bar. Gearbox is completely standard, apart from a VWR gearbox mount, VWR short shifter, and the clutch is a Helix twin plate 4-paddle. Quick little look around the engine bay. There's not a massive amount of stuff to see with these kind of more modern cars because everything's tucked away. Custom V5R turbo. From the turbo we've got a Scorpion downpipe and a decat as well. Then it's 3.5 inch system all the way to the back. Underneath is a Miltech centre section. Custom set of quad pipes with titanium tips as well, which do look pretty nom. I'll show you the full engine spec here, so if any of you guys are looking to do these kind of bits to your car, you can have a look through the full spec list and pause the video. Wheels are also lovely, a set of Oz or OZ Superleggera's. They are 18 by 9.5, so pretty wide. We've also got Alcon 6-pot brakes and a twin-piece floating front disc. On the back, single-piece rotors from VAG Brem Technic. They are 355mm, so a pretty sizable upgrade over the stock rear ones. Interior is a lovely place to be. I believe these are the stock Golf R seats, but they do have quite a bit of side support, so do kind of hold you in on the corners. Quite nice as well. He's got a sort of sunroof or a sort of mini panoramic roof, which is pretty cool. I do like my sunroofs. Things like sat nav, heated seats, all your normal mod cons. That's a little idea on the suspension. Hopefully my camera focuses in, but yeah, he spent quite a fortune getting the chassis and getting the stability of the car right. The clutch is actually quite drivable. You have to obviously give it a few revs to move off. It is quite stiff, so you need to really have a bit of a Jackie Chan leg to operate the clutch, but you know, it's something you'll definitely get used to over time. Exterior is pretty much stock. He's got a set of carbon fibre wing mirror covers, some wind deflectors which you can see up here, and he's blacked out some of the parts in the body to give it sort of a more stealth appearance. It's quite nice. Apart from the wheels and the bigger brakes, it is quite a sleeper, this car. It really does just look like a regular Golf. You'd never probably think it had 650 to 700 horsepower underneath the bonnet. That's what she sounds like on idle. We'll give the car a couple of little blips as well so you can hear what she sounds like revving up. Fruity! We'll make sure she's in race mode because John loves a bit of race mode. think I've broken it. Not quite sure what's happened. I think John might have broken it. It seems to have lost boost or lost power. I'll stop in a second and give Guy a quick little call. I'll do the famous turn it off and turn it on again, just to see if that kind of resets it easier and gets it going. Yeah, for some reason it's lost all power, so I'll put my foot down in thirds. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit misfirey. What have you done, man? Always killing everybody's cars. So we'll stop the car and then we'll turn it back on and see if it magically regains its power. Alright, we'll see if that magically fixes it. This will give you an idea with the clutch. You haven't got to go too mad with it, but you do need to give it a few revs. Yeah, it's definitely lost all of its power. There's no smoke out the back of the car, and there's no knocking noises, so it's nothing like sinister or serious. But it does seem to have cut the power for some reason. There's a lot of magical tricks going on with these ECUs, so it might have restricted it or retarded the ignition or something. But yeah, for some reason it has lost power. It's still quite fast, to be fair. Maybe a boost pipe has come off or something, because it doesn't seem to be boosting correctly. It's almost like it's just lost all of its boost. I'll head back to the farm now and have a little chat with Guy and see if we can kind of find out what's going on. Yeah, I can hear what's wrong. It's definitely a boost pipe. I'll just put my foot down a little bit and you can kind of hear there's a big whooshing noise. So I'll stop off in a sec, have a quick little look under the engine bay and see if we can kind of see what's going on. The hardest thing with these Golfs is there's so much stuff in the engine bay, it's actually very hard to kind of see what's going on. Same thing with the intercooler, it's kind of hidden somewhere up back there, so it's very hard to see. That's the good thing with some of the sort of jack motors, is you've got so much space around the engine, you can kind of ascertain what's going on with the car a little bit quicker. These Golfs are quite sort of tightly compact. We wouldn't expect anything else though with a John review, so pretty much standard stuff. Over the time since John's been doing reviews, we've had our fair share in car issues, and this adds another one to the list. If you rev match it on the way down, it does really make the exhaust burble. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this cheeky little insight back into ML car review. Sorry it couldn't have been a little bit longer, but I'm sure in a second we'll work out what boost pipe it is and get the car sorted. I broke it. It's fucking rapid. Sick. Fist bump.
Good lad.
Yeah, he says good lad for breaking it. Oh, happy man and happy wife. Happy husband. No, Mr. Lou, Car's Performance has found out what's going on.
You got a 2-finger hole in your fucking boost pipe.
No one likes a 2-finger hole in their boost pipe, man.
No one likes a 2-finger hole. That pipe there.
Oh, I see, yeah. Bloody John, man. Unfortunately, Scousey hasn't actually got any boost pipe to replace it with. Not a massive issue. Guy can still get the car home today, which is cool. And then when he gets back, he can replace the piping and get it working again. Hopefully you got a good insight into the car and quite literally how mad it is. Really, really impressed. The first Golf R ever on the channel. I know some people kind of criticise them, saying they're a bit dull, but I can assure you now, when you drive that thing, it really is not dull. We've got loads more car reviews coming up, so hopefully you guys are going to stick around to watch them, and I will see you soon.